We're going to talk about Manchester United versus West Ham. Okay, I did this 3 times already. It just didn't work. But we're here to try 4. If you do enjoy, drop a like and subscribe. Comment anything you want to say. Okay, I don't care if you say something. Bad comedy. This is why I'm not a comedian. Anyway, okay, so let's talk about football. Okay, last time out, Manchester United, we lost. It's a derby on pens. wasn't a good day. Good night. Sorry, it hasn't been a good few days since which. Anyway, in the time that Manchester United just have been falling apart, if you saw my podcast, the house is on fire, baby. The house is on fire right now. It only has 3 views, so I assume you didn't see it, but that's fair because the audio was absolutely terrible. But regardless, I digress. Let's get back to football. Score report. Marcus Rojo is still out injured, but everyone else is fit as far as I know, as far as Man United have released any statements. Marcus Rashford's ban is now completely over, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him start, to be honest. I really wouldn't. Oh, goodness, I'm sorry. Anyway, I gotta get something off my chest, okay? I do. You see, Paul Pogba is right there as top performer along with Fellaini. I just think they've been the most consistent and best players, outfield players. Maybe Luke Shaw, but he hasn't really contributed with assist or anything like that since the first game. But he's still been performing well, getting in great areas, and I'm pretty sure the assists will follow. Yeah. Jamie Carragher made a statement on Sky Sports this morning. Following the release of the footage of Mourinho and Pogba, going at it like girls. They were making the case for who should leave first if you had to pick. I guess that's what the clip looked like it was inferring. And Jamie Carragher was saying, well, they've both been there 2 seasons. They came the same summer, and in that time, Mourinho has done more. Now, I would argue that you have a case to say Mourinho has done more, but I'd argue that and say Pogba has done just as much. I wouldn't say he's done more, but I would say he's done just as much. Because for all the stuff Mourinho has done off the pitch, he's a great, well, you could argue he's a great manager. He just beats players down in public and can't take criticism when it comes back to him, but whatever. From his own players, that is. Everything that's happened that's been good for Manchester United on the pitch runs through Paul Pogba. It's that simple. Everything that is good, the good and the bad, really. Because Paul Pogba, when he doesn't really hold his position and defend, we look terrible. If Paul Pogba isn't playing at his best going forward, we aren't performing. With Alexis Sanchez, who should be another engine to run the attack if Pogba isn't having a great game. But that's not the case. Everything great. Whenever we're playing at our best, it runs through Paul Pogba. And part of that problem, or part of that, what would you say? Part of the success came through Mkhitaryan. When he left, that was huge. Really huge. He, as much as, he had his times where he was underperforming and he couldn't take the criticism from Mourinho or whatever the case was, he and Pogba worked together well. You bring in Sanchez, who is a hard worker, and he is a very good football player. But he's just not fitting. He's just not fitting in at Manchester United. It sucks. It really does, because I really want him to be successful, but I knew from before he came here that it wasn't going to work. And I've said time and time again, I love the guy, but it doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. Anyway, case in point, we move on. Talk about my lineup. Let's talk about my lineup. I'm sorry I ain't gonna. Oh my goodness, I did it again. Anyway, here's my lineup. I forgot to do the graphic, but whatever. Obviously David, Nat, Shaw, Lindelof, Smalling, Valencia, Pogba, Fellaini, Pereira. and Sanchez, Lukaku, Martial up front. That team right there. I personally would not mind seeing Darmian of a Valencia. Darmian will make runs in behind, and he's not afraid to cross the ball. Even though he isn't great at crossing the ball, he's not afraid to make the cross. And you could argue he's better defensively. So I wouldn't mind it. I love Valencia, but it's really just his time to just take a step back. But he's the club captain, and now Mourinho's, said Pogba isn't going to captain the club anymore. So I guess, it's just so much bullcrap going on anyway. Yeah. But Shaw, Lindelof, Smalling all speak for themselves. That's Lindelof and Smalling is Mourinho's tried and tested partnership he likes at the moment. I hope Phil Jones doesn't return. I'm sorry. I don't want him to come back. And then, Pereira with Fellaini and Pogba. Fellaini on form really has been our best outfield player. Pogba, obviously, for the intricacy and ball retention is essential. And Pereira for the movement, because no one really offers themselves to Pogba the way that Pereira did against, Wolves. So Pereira needs to play. I think he's essential. I think he and Pogba are going to strike a whole level of creativity you have just not seen. Martial has been good, really good. Like, he hasn't been scoring goals willy-nilly and assisting and all that jazz, but he's been very good because he's getting games, so I want him to play. I wouldn't want him on the right, but I know Sanchez is going to play, so that's what I've gone with. And Lukaku just seems undroppable, so that's why he's in my team. Yeah, that about does it for me. I know some of you might ask about Lingard, but he's not been good enough for me. And we need someone who's going to stay out on the right. Martial will stay out on the right. He will cut inside, obviously, because he's naturally likes to play on the left. But I think he will play the winger position. So that's why I've chosen him over Mata or Lingard. I wouldn't mind seeing Rashford out there, but I don't know how likely it is for him to come back. But I'd love to see him come back and prove something, because he hasn't been great this season. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yeah, but mainly for me, the biggest thing I want to see is Andres Pereira. Start the guy. Really. His movement, his passing ability, fearlessness. There's no one better to start next to Paul Pogba than Andres Pereira. Herrera's good, but he's not another creative player who can also, he's just not that level. Pereira's going to be amazing one day. He's 22, 23. It's good. Anyway, let's talk about West Ham. A team I've always liked. Underdog type vibes. And I really started to dig them when Payet came in. Obviously, that was huge. But they haven't been the same since. Really. Manuel Pellegrini is now their manager, I liked him at Madrid. Didn't see him at Malaga. Obviously, he was at City, which was some of the worst times of my life. But I like his play style for West Ham. I think that is a fit. He's got players. I think once Lanzini comes back, they're going to be smashing it. But as of right now, they sit 17th in the league, as you see. They didn't start great. They had 4 losses on the bounce. Excuse me. Then they beat Everton at home. Away for West Ham. They drew Chelsea 0-0, the only team to hold them to 0 goals this season. And I believe Chelsea are the second best team in the league right now. And then they just beat Macclesfield 8-0. 8-0. And as you see, I got Yarmolenko and Antonio there. Antonio, for me, is just really a beast who is unstoppable. When he really wants to be, you just won't stop him. You just won't stop him. I'm sorry. I don't care who you are. It's not happening. It's not happening. He's rapid. He's strong. He can head the ball well. He's skillful when he wants to be. He's kind of sloppy with the skills. He's a big dude. You can't really move that frame with that much agility at a high level consistently. So I'm not really frustrated with that. But he's good. And then Yarmolenko, for me, really and truly is like a Fellaini with dribbling skills. A technical Fellaini. Imagine that. Bloody hell. If it wasn't for his terrible, terrible blunder against Chelsea in the last few minutes, They should have won that game. Well, no, you could argue they shouldn't have, but they held out, and it would have been fair had they came away with that. But he headed the ball wide for God knows what reason. You know, the guy for me who goes under the radar, or not under the radar, people know how good he is, but he doesn't play 90 minutes. He's not rapid. He's not strong, but he's the best creative player in their team, apart from Lanzini, who's injured, obviously. And that's Robert Snodgrass. Great delivery from set pieces. Can cross the ball in open play very well. Technically, his dribbling is alright. He's not amazing. But his creativity is top notch. And that's all he can do, which is why he doesn't start, really. He's a really good impact player. Like I said, he's not fast, so there's no real need for him to start, but he makes a great impact. So I'd watch out for him if and when he gets subbed on, if he doesn't start. I don't expect him to start, but if he gets subbed in, that's something to watch out for. That's when you bring in Ander Herrera to sit on him. Just sit on him. That's what you need to do. Anyway, but as you see the list there, Wilshere injured, Carroll, Lanzini, Reed, top players. All of them could start for West Ham. Maybe not Carroll anymore, but still, some people would argue they're going to be dangerous when Lanzini returns. Sadly, I think he's got a few more months until he's back fit, so that sucks. Yeah, but that's what it is. I don't think I have much more to say. I don't have a fun fact. The only thing I could say was that West Ham beat Macclesfield 8-0. That's a fact. It's not funny, or fun, but it's a fact. 8-0 is just wow. I hope they're not like overconfident, or maybe it might help if they're a bit overconfident coming into this game, but who knows. Anyway, score predictions. West Ham are picking up some steam, man, and they're gonna be home. But I'm gonna say 2-1. 2-1. I don't care who scores. I really don't. I just want to win at this point. If we win the league and Chris Smalling is our top scorer, I don't care. I just don't care. Okay? That's the point we've reached now. I want to see us play well. There's no need for the drama at the club. Like Mourinho and Pogba really shouldn't go to therapy because it's stupid. Mourinho's one of the best managers ever. Pogba is, in my opinion, arguably the best central midfielder in world football on his day. On his day, compared to anyone else on their day, I think I said this already, but Paul Pogba is the best central midfielder in the world next to Luka Modric. In terms of doing everything, yeah, I said it. I don't care how you feel. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. Anyway, it's been your boy Dave. It's been Man United Talks. I hope you guys did enjoy. I am out of here. Wait for it.